to my channel. It's your girl Nika Nicole, and this is Kiddos Girl and Mike. We are going to jump right in. This is part 2 of this morning's live. So no intro, none of that good stuff. If you haven't watched part 1, go watch part 1, and this is going to be part 2. Okay, so let's jump right in. And where we ended this morning or earlier, just around, I think I came on around 4. And I ended around 4, so we did about an hour. So I did around 3 to 4, and now we're gonna do the second part because I had to run out. So again, it's your girl Nico Nicole, and welcome back to Give This Girl a Mic, where we do weekly mic drops. Get it? So if you haven't subscribed already, please hit the subscribe button. I really greatly appreciate that. Let's just jump right on in. Where we ended last week was we talked a little bit about uh not last week, this morning, y'all. Where we ended earlier today was Brittany. We were talking about love is blind. So we were just getting into the thick of things with Brittany and Devonta. Y'all know I call him Devonta because that's how he spell it. Even though he don't want to claim Devonta, he want to claim Devo, like he's some Italian jit or something. But he really just a cornball named Devonta spelled wrong. Devontae spelled wrong. So, yes, I gave in my last live, I gave Brittany all her flowers and basically said that I hope she sees in herself what we see in her. She sees the beauty, the light, the goodness inside herself, and just stop allowing people to, take advantage of her because she's just such a beautiful girl on the inside and out. And if you really think about it, she was the prettiest girl on the season, bar none. So nobody can take that away from her. So I just hope she sees that on the inside and remembers that she is the prize. Bree, if you ever see this, remember, babe, you are the prize. You are the prize. So that's my message to Bree. And we're gonna get into the message that I wanted to talk about in terms of like the mean girls. Also, I want to say one more thing to Bree. You're the diamond of the season. Like you really are. You have to show up that way though, because your dad and I told you guys last week, I believe like a lot of why she gives and gives and gives because she has an overflow of love because she has that from her parents. And sometimes when you have that overflow of love, people will see that light in you and attach themselves to it just to drain you of light and bring you down to their darkness. So hopefully she rises above all the drama, all the hate, and sees that she is the prize, the diamond of the season. So neither here nor there. So we have to move on to this Birds of a Feather. I didn't even mean to play that song, but that's true. So I wanted to play this next clip here with these mean girls here. And I wanted to talk about the Ohio trip because I feel like we wrapped up pretty much with the Devo of it all. Where we ended with that, he's a dad now. Will he show up and show out? That's yet to be seen. But what we do know is that he moved in with Alex, which we'll get into. So that doesn't seem like he's on track to be this amazing dad and break these generational curses that he has clearly allowed to consume him because he is a toxic man, not just according to Britt and what our eyes seen, but according to his ex as well. So I think that's where we ended. So we ended with learning everything we needed to know about Devontae in our last live. So that'll be up soon. If it's not up already, go watch the first part. If you haven't watched the first part, this is part 2 to the discussion we had earlier today. So let's jump right into these mean girls, or whatever you want to call them, the trio, the Ohio trio, the Austin baddies, or whatever. So I wrote a little notes here. So if you see me looking down, that's what this is, because I wanted to kind of get the full picture of what happened in Boston. We're gonna put our detective's hat on, okay? So this is what we know so far. The night of the Ohio trip concert, the Ohio Austin trip slash bowling night slash concert, whatever they were doing, the group was these girls, the mean girls, were heavily criticized for their treatment of Brittany during that girls' trip. And they also had like a bowling night, right? So they were accused of inviting another cast member's fiance, which we know is Brittany, on the girls' trip without informing her and failing to act like girls. It was none of that. Okay. Me personally, I think what happened was Ashley had a lot of resentment for Brittany because of how Alex found her attractive. We know that Bree is Ashley's friend. I said Alex, I mean Ashley. We know, so I think that Ashley had a lot of resentment for Brittany for how Alex found her attractive. We know that Bree and Ashley are best friends, and we know that Priyanka was there that night with Chris. So this is kind of like their group, their trio, right? So we know that about these girls. And what I found is Brittany kind of confirmed this theory because Brittany just went on a Vile File. So you guys didn't know. It's a long podcast. I'll tell you a little bit about it. So it says she confirmed Brittany just confirmed in this podcast that she was recently on, which is the Val Files, and discussed that she believes the real reason Devontae wanted to go on the girls' trip is to see if there was still something with Ashley. What you and I didn't know as the viewers is that Devontae and Ashley connected in the pies. Who knew? And then come to find out, once Alex saw Brittany, he was in awe of her and found her attractive. So remember in high school when boys liked you, or even elementary school, I don't even think high schoolers were doing this, but the boys used to want to switch the girls to the ones they liked the best. I think that's what, because they're very immature. Clearly, their frontal lobes are not developed at nearly 40, but they wanted to switch and swap girls. I think once Devontae saw Ashley and Alex saw Brittany, they had already made up their minds they was going to switch by the end of the process, right? Because Devontae said that Ashley is more his type, and um Alex clearly mentioned before we knew any of this on the vacation, before we even knew that he was like not really that into his girl, that he was super into Brittany. He made it very clear to us and Brittany, right? And so I think this is where the mean girl part came in. Ashley being jealous of that sentiment that Alex had, it being that she's like this blonde, white girl. I think it really pissed her off that this black girl, mixed race girl, whatever, dark features, dark skin, dark hair girl is getting the attention of the guy she really want, and that's the person he found more attractive. I think that really irked her nerves, right? And I think she has an insecurity about that. So she took it out on Brittany instead of taking it out on Alex. That's what I think happened. Because if you notice, during the whole reunion, she kept saying over and over again, you like dark hair, you like dark features, you like dark features. Hence the dark feature in the corner here. Brit, right? So that is why I think she fell into this trap and wanted to like get one up on Brittany and didn't feel any remorse of inviting her fiance on their all girls trip. Weird, right? But that's how nasty girls be. We were just talking about jealous girls in the last segment, and that's how jealous girls can come out. The real jealous girls, the one who aren't 21-year-olds, right? The one who actually would never claim that they've ever been jealous of somebody. Those type of girls, the real jealous girls. But I digress. So I wrote, let's be real. Ashley wouldn't go for Devontae for the same reason he didn't go for Brittany. She just allowed this trip to happen out of spite. And I think we can clearly see that. My other theory is I saw that Devontae and Alex, they're roommates now. They share stuff a lot, and they just wanted to swap lives. And I don't think Ashley had any interest in Devontae, but I think she was going to play along just to piss and spite Brittany. So not only was Brittany hurt by Devontae here, she was also hurt by these girls. And that's in the last segment, if you guys recall, I gave flowers to um Amber for being the only true girl's girl and to really truly have her back. She was the only one that had the back of Brittany, which is really interesting because you would think that being that this was like a show with a lot of care and friendships made that one of the other girls would have her back. But I'm not surprised because these same three girls here, they are really truly the mean girl clique. If you think about it, they did the same thing to Jessica, because what they did to Jessica was kind of really nasty as well. I put the mean girl clique, Bree, Priyanka, and Ashley. They've been frequently grouped together by viewers for exhibiting high school clique behavior, with many characterizing them as pick me girls. I got that off of when I looked up what the whole problem was with this situation, because I was seeing stuff and I was like, before I watched the reunion, that's what they said. They're coming off as pick me girls. When I asked the AI, reunion conflict. The group was criticized for their behavior during the reunion, particularly for not standing up for their fellow castmates and acting defensive. Especially that Ashley, she kept talking over Brittany the whole time, and Bree was just gaslighting us and lying, which was crazy because she was like, he didn't come to the house, and then luckily Priyanka was the only kind of real one who said, yeah, he did come to the house. But I feel like what happened was Bree set the whole thing up from what I've heard, because Devontae, if you remember it, nobody heard it because they kind of skipped over it. He went to dinner with Bree. Bree being the one who inviting him, and then skipped out on inviting her own man, Connor. Make it make sense. So you have Alex there, you have Devontae there. I wonder if there was a little something there for Bree, because everybody got a man there except you, Bree. That's weird. That's suspicious. Right? So we have to, I'm sure there's more to this story, but that was very, very mean girl-esque. And I really, truly did not like it. And again, shout out to Amber. She's a real girl. I was like, wow, they weren't gonna tell Britt at all. I just thought that was low down. And then for y'all to be rooting for Priyanka like that, yuck. Yuck. Y'all was like, oh, she needs to be a character. She's a POC. This ain't the type of, this is the type of POC we be talking about. The ones that hang with the white girls, think they white, want to be white, do all the things that the white girls do. Okay. And then turn their back on the black girls. That, and then when they get their feet get put to the fire, then they come and be an ally or a support. Yeah. Because Priyanka, if we remember, she had a lot of smoke for Alex. But she didn't have no smoke for her own friends who stabbed that girl Brittany in the back. She had no smoke for her own crew, but she had a lot of smoke for Alex. And that was a really freaky, weaky, weird thing too. The fact that Priyanka and Brittany don't look too far different. The fact that Priyanka was all going ham on Alex when Ashley was there, kind of like they dated. We didn't get into that. What was that awkwardness? But anyway, I did want to talk a little bit about Alex, but not much because he don't get much time. I got a great picture of him here, him and his bestie. When I saw this, I cracked myself up. So we have Bert and Ernie here, and I put this picture because I was like, you know what's interesting about this? These two freaking frack, they can't even like be serious in their own lives. Like Alex here, he's a nomad, he's a hobosexual, can't have his own house, can't have his own woman, can't have his own anything. That's why he's a nomad, because whenever the rent get high or the bills get due, he hop into another city or town or state or country. So he living on from couch to couch to couch to couch, making no responsible decisions in his life. And then Bert and then Ernie over here is going to allow him to live in his house. Look at it. We're going to see how many goals I can score out of 10. Scored none. Looking crazy. These two together, of course, he can't live with a woman, so he ends up living with his bro. And him and this guy are going to live off, and you're supposed to expect me to believe that he is going to be a good dad and a good fiance and all that, when he barely got his life together. Why is he not with the fiance living with her? Why is he living with Alex? It is very much giving Bert and Ernie. You can't deny it. So when I saw this picture, I was just cracking up. And I just think that it's just a testament to how much bums these guys are and how bad and poor Love Island is doing. I wouldn't even really disrespect Bert and Ernie like that. They got their stuff together more than these two up here have their stuff together. And I just think it was something creepy about that girls trip. Alex there Devontae there. All of Alex exes is there. It was a very weird scenario in the situation. But, you know, at the end of the day, the proof is in the pudding, and the truth came out of who these people are. And I think that is the bottom line. The fact that we know who they are. It's like, but they think, I see you. I see you for who you are. And that's the bottom line on that. Let me go to the next little segment. Oh, I did mention Priyanka, but I forgot to give her own shout out. So yeah, I have her picture here, and I was saying with this, it's something about the way she's always in a mix of the mess, just like Bree rubs me the wrong way. That's my little note I wrote about her. I said Priyanka's behavior was often described as inserting herself into drama for airtime. This is when I asked Chad, what is her general personality, right? My personality is something's going on with her. She's always in a mix. So I asked Chad, like, why is she always in a mix? And they said, Bianca's behavior. Priyanka was often described as inserting herself into drama for airtime, often heard mumbling off camera and stating she was not close to Brittany despite appearing in group settings with Brittany. So basically, she's saying she's not close to Brittany, but on the show, it looked like they was cool. You know, it looked like she was friends with her. But then look how she stabbed her in the back by letting that man, the ex-fiance, stay in her house. She's like, Brittany was like, I still was wearing my engagement ring, and you got my fiance living in your house. I would never do that to a girl. And like I said, just peep that the same three girls, I don't know, y'all noticed that, but the same girls that were not standing up for Jessica and were talking about Jessica to Chris, talking about, somebody said, oh, she just needs to lose a little weight. What is funny about that? Same girls who are doing that to Chris, right? And talking to Chris about Jessica are the same girls that are talking poorly about Brittany. And it's just low class. It's just disgusting. And those can never be my type of friends. Never could be my type of girls. But yet, again, go back to my last point, my last video about that jealousy stuff that all y'all girls happen to not be, right? These are the type of girls who say, I would never be jealous of somebody. But look at the behavior. Look at the behavior. Sometimes you might not know you jealous, but your actions show otherwise. So just cop that and peep that. Okay, next couple up is we're going to talk a little bit about Brittany. Just give me 1 second. So let's get into Brittany and Bree. This one is Bree. The other one is Brittany. So this is Bree, which short for Brittany, and Connor. So this two, as you see, they come off as like the loving, endearing couple, beautiful here together, like they are working together to, be on the same page. But little do you know that Bree does not come off authentic to me personally. Like she comes off like she's just doing it for the plot. Like soon as the show is over, they're gonna be over. Connor is very much in love with Bree, but when she go to back up off that Mean Girl segment we just left, when she said that she didn't tell Connor, Connor even looked surprised, like he was just finding out about it or something. Like when she mentioned she didn't tell Connor that she was going on that girls trip with men there, what they do that at? What woman in their right mind can go on a girls trip and not tell their man that a man is going to be there? That's crazy. Like what? Like I don't know, that's just weird. Or I'm not really feeling that. So that was interesting. And that was the most telling thing to me, that she didn't tell Connor. But are we surprised? She really this whole time has just been taking a piss out of Connor, embarrassing him on national TV. But it's like, Connor, come on, you gotta stand up, brother. Like at a certain point, we see that you care about her, we see that you love her, but you, in the same breath, like Brittany, yours is kind of working out a little bit better. You're still letting her play with your dome, play in your face, and that is not cool, because I was rooting for you, Connor. I really felt like you were one of the good guys. You and Jordan, and even though people saying Jordan is not a good guy, I got backlash on that. I personally thought that Connor and Jordan were two of the good guys. And so to see Connor kind of going down this route of being taken advantage of by Brittany is really sad. And it's like, I know she's an alpha because apparently she does really well in her career. And also she it comes from a family that has like a lot of money apparently, so she has that way about her, that kind of alpha mentality about herself. So of course she's going to be put in a position where she could do extremely well. but at the same breath, she's kind of making Connor look like a fool, and he is just not picking up what she's putting down in order to stand up. It's like, Connor, stand up for yourself, brother. Like, you have to wake up and smell the makeup. This girl is not there for you. She does not want for you what you want for yourself. And that to me is so heartbreaking. And Love is Blind has to do a better job of vetting their cast so that they don't end up in these situations where you have a guy who's really kind hearted and sweet being taken advantage of and manipulated by something like this, and Bree, she knew what she was doing. She's been like wanting to be in the mess this entire time. Like, Bree likes mess. That's just who she is. Look, Bree and Chris, they're just entertaining themselves for the plot of it all, And despite the negative comments and everything over the time, she still came back playing the same games. Like, she's watching the show while we're watching the show, and she still came back on the reunion with mess, and just commenting on Britney situations and lying about it and just doing things for the plot. And y'all still can't convince me that if Chris did not say, I want to take you back to the hotel room tonight, we could be buddies, that she wouldn't have went for it, because she was in there. Like, yeah, she was ready to go. She was so open for it. But the fact that he said that, it turned her off. And I think she realized, oh, he doesn't really want me. He just wants me for the plot. Like, he just wants me for a night. He doesn't really want to be with me. And so I think once she made that determination, she decided, like, not to take him serious. But if he didn't say that on national television, and even though he said on national television, I wouldn't be surprised. I still wouldn't be surprised. But I feel like he would have said something at the reunion if he would have got it. Like, at first, I did think he got some from her, like, got it from her. But after watching the reunion, I don't necessarily feel like that, because the way his flush red face was, and he was very like on a downer, some type of medicine he had. Him and Jordan was on that same stuff, whatever it was, but they were very much on the down, and he didn't kind of come on. It was like, I always expected him to be quintessential villain. He did not show up how I expected him to. It's like sometimes when you walk into that villain spot on television show, you gotta own it. I thought Chris was going to come in and have some type of more je ne sais quoi about himself, more character, or even more crass, less character, more crass. But he didn't really give us anything, which was kind of whack, because I thought that this would have been something we really needed to explore more. I want to know what was in the text message. I want to know if you reached out to her when Connor and her had that little break, what really went down. I know Connor moved next door, but did Brittany really care for Connor to move next door, or did you never talk to her again after the cameras went off? I wanted to know more about what went on so that we can get more, understanding of Brittany's personality, because I just don't think I think she's the villain too. I think she's the bad guy too, and she just did not fare well in terms of her character when watching this show, at least in terms of what I saw from her. Like, I just really disliked her by the end of the series. Oh, I did mention Chris a little bit here. I said, save your apologies. So yeah, looking like a young Gollum. He was out there looking like just who done it, and who he just like a mess. He was, like I said, he was flushed, he was red, he was sweaty, just looked like a mess. And then, I had to show y'all this picture because, like, looking like a young Gollum, like looking like he is standing on no business. It's just funny to see how somebody who is so cocky and so arrogant, so little, can cause such a menace on the TV show, can be such a menace on a TV show. And he did get his camera time, but it was just like, save your apologies. Like, we don't care anymore. Like, it just was kind of whack. I would have rather him be the villain that he so wants to be, stand on business, but instead he decided to be a punk and just not really show up as his best self on the show. Or maybe this is his best self. Whoever did this, y'all going down there with the red guy. Anyway, don't forget to follow me on my Blue Sky. It's Give This Girl a Mic, Nico Nicole. Follow me on all platforms as well. And if you aren't subscribed already, please make sure you subscribe. These are all my pages, platforms below. subscribe here if you haven't already. Hit that subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it. And we are trying to grow the page to 2K. We are currently at, I think, 18. So we can get to 2K, I believe, very soon. So just keep subscribing as you can. Let's get to 2K. That is the goal. All right, guys. If you're watching, I appreciate it. Let's move right along. We did talk a little bit about Jessica and how I just think she's another one I wanted to give my flowers to, and I wanted to also just love that for her, right? And like the fact that she got her a new man by the end of the show. So she was dating Chris, the one you just seen, young Gollum, and then now she's dating this handsome doctor right here, and I love this for her. Do I have his name somewhere? I don't. I thought I do. I do. It's Doctor Harmar and Jess, Dr. Jess and Dr. Harmar. So he is a doctor. Look at them. They just came out with their pictures. They look so good together. They look so beautiful. And here Jess is just stunning. He basically really has some beautiful things to say about her. He said, "This woman deserves all her flowers, so I'm going to give them to her." So he was just pouring love for her at the reunion. He was basically met her in the pods, and he said while he was in the pods, he got in his head and he just wasn't sure about the process, which can make sense because, culturally, that could be I know Indian people usually get arranged marriages, but still I can see how with the pressures of his culture and them being in his own mind, how he probably got intimidated by the process. He left and then he came back and he ended up meeting Jess. So also somebody was like, oh, maybe he just wanted to see how Jess looked before he committed to her. But either way, I'm just happy that Jess gets her happy in there. And it's like two doctors in the house. Ooh, yeah, 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 yeah. I love that for her. So again, they did their official launch, and voila. And they are cute. They look good. They look good together. Yes. So I'm very, very happy for her. And I wish her all the best. Next up, this is a crazy situation. I don't know if y'all seen this yet, but there's this new show out that is called Age of Attraction. Have you guys heard of this new show, Age of Attraction? This is a mess. This is a y'all. This new show, Age of Attraction. It just premiered March 11th on Netflix. I watched this weekend. It comes out every Wednesday. So if you guys want me to continue to review it, let me know. I will definitely continue to review it. But if I'm being honest, I got the heebie-jeebies from this show. It was a little bit creepy, but also entertaining at the same time. So what I'm just gonna jump in and tell you guys what I initially felt. I personally felt like it was given very much like pedophilia, which I didn't like because it was like almost promoting that, especially what we know now with the Epstein files. And then for this to be your like bread and butter right now, for this to be your show, it was given like, what is going on? What in the world is going on? And why are we promoting this? So let me give y'all a breakdown of all the couples. If I'm looking down, I'm looking at my notes. So this couple right here, that is John and Teresa. That is like the show, the anchor. Remember I was telling you about earlier in my last live that there has to be a winner, like there has to be the successful couple. I feel like it's going to be this couple to kind of prove the point. There has to be one that makes it, right? So we'll see what happens, but I feel like this couple might be the only couple that makes it, because the premise of the show has to be successful, right, for it to continue on Netflix. So the first couple, John and Teresa, they call him Little Harry, and their age gap is, you want to guess? 27 years. Yes, 27. So he is only 27 years old. Yes, he is. And Teresa is 54 years old. So they are a couple that has instant chemistry connection. They locked in early, similarly to Christine and Vic on Love is Blind. And these two are no different. They just fell for each other. They fell really hard. And they, girl, honey, they doing things. I don't even know. I ain't hear them type of sounds in a long time. Like they was getting down, honey, Marvin Gaye style. So that was really interesting to watch. And yeah, a little uncomfortable too. But whatever. If she like it, I love it. So yeah, so they have their own chemistry, and they really have, like, to me, one of the best connections in the show right now. So I've been enjoying that. So I'm gonna go through each character on this screen, and their couple. So we have this guy here. This is Andrew, the first guy, and he is coupled with Libby. Libby is the one in the blue second row from the right. The female in the light blue. That is Libby. He's coupled up with her, and they are 22 years old, Libby, and Andrew is 38 years old. So you have that couple. And then the next couple we have is, I actually have them all listed here, so I'm gonna just do them in order. So we have Chris and Dala. That's the guy in the um plaid checker shirt next to Libby, and he is with Leah. That is the girl right up under him, the African American girl, the black girl with the blue outfit on. So he's with her, and their age difference is, she is 41 and he is 26. So as you can see, these are like 20-year age gaps, y'all. And it is gross. And this is also, we talked about Nick Vile a little bit because Brittany went on his podcast, and a few others usually go on the podcast. But yeah, he is in a relationship, Nick Vile, with his wife, that they have an 18-year age gap. And that's the premise of the show, because they're trying to prove that age does not matter when it comes to love, and that, age ain't nothing but a number. Very creepy stuff, but that's what they're trying to prove. Next up is Derek. We already talked about Libby and Andrew. They have a 16-year age gap. Then we have Derek and Pfeiffer. So Derek is the black man next to Leah, who has the jacket on, the gray jacket on with the black tank top. He's with Leah, who is next to him with the striped shirt. So they're actually next to each other. And Derek is 43 and Pfeiffer is 23. So that's literally a 20-year age gap. So as you can see, the theme here, 20-year age gap. And I looked it up, the whole cast. That's where I got this picture from. They did have all ranges. They had 20s, 30s, 40s, and 50s. So they had every range bracket. And the oldest couple, as you'll see here, is we'll talk about them in just one second. Let me go to the last couple. Last couple is Vanessa and Logan. So Vanessa is the one with the pink, the blonde at the end with the pink, and she is with Logan, who is the guy with the burgundy blazer on, burgundy or brown blazer with the white collar shirt at the very bottom, first row. Okay? So that's who those couples are. And Vanessa is 49 and Logan is 29. Another 20-year age gap theme here. So they did show like a brief montage at the end of the series, like once it was wrapping up, of every couple. And they're, like I said, they had 20s, 30s, 40s, and 50s. They didn't show the 30 years old. I was like, what, are they taking all the 30 years olds and casting them on Love is Blind or Ready to Love? You know what I mean? It just was interesting. So they are not even focusing on them at all. They're only focusing on the major age gap couples, and that's kind of what they're leaning with. And like I said, given very creepy, very pedophilia. Oh, I'm not supposed to say that on here. Very PDF files, creepy, creepy, creepy. But it was entertaining, I gotta say. So the most entertaining couple, which we're gonna get into right now, is Vanelle. She's at the top in the blue, the black girl with the big curly hair, and she's right next to her couple, who is Jorge. And you guys want to guess how old Jorge is? Let's see. He is 60 years old. Yeah, 33 years. 33-year age gap. Nasty. Now, this wrong. I'm sorry. You can't convince me that this is right. This is wrong. And so basically with these two, I feel like they crashed and burned pretty fast, if you ask me, because they were not able to get it together, which I actually appreciate Vernell for. So they had like two major incidents, and at the end of those incidents, Vernell decided that it was best for her to just part ways with him because he was not showing up in a way that she felt like a partner should show up, which I appreciated because it really showed like a maturity in my eyes for her, even though she's only 27 years old. And it showed that this 60-year-old man, which Kevin Samuels told us about, lacks the maturity. Not saying I'm not a Kevin Samuels girl at all, but usually when men, or I don't know if Kevin Samuels ever said it, but I know maybe he did. I don't know where I get it from, but I heard that a lot of older men, when they start dating younger girls, is to become hospice wives, because this is when they get them catheters, i.e., what's his name, Deion Sanders. Like, remember Carucci is 38, so that's closer to 50, and now he just had surgery. So he lost one of his toes and he got a catheter in him. You know what I'm saying? So she's gonna effectively, if she marries Dion, be a hospice wife. So that's basically when these men, they very handsome, they decided to settle down now in their old age, and now they want somebody young, a spring chicken, to go run up after them. Hospice husbands. And that's what it was given. Even though he's very handsome, he's a very successful defense attorney and everything, I think it was a reason why he's been single for this long. And also, so the two reasons why he lied is he basically said that he didn't have kids, and or he forego the fact that he had kids. And the second thing he did was he basically was acting crazy in the mall. So apparently some guy came up to them. The guy was coming off very aggressive apparently, and he reacted in a way that made her feel very uncomfortable. I wish we would have got a little bit more understanding of what happened there, but I think I get the gist of it. He was acting a fool, cussing people out in the public, and regardless of it, the guy who came with apparently with a weapon in the mall was aggressive towards her and him, and he felt like he was trying to protect her. She felt like the way he was protecting her was very aggressive and out of character, which led her to think that if anything happens to me and you, and we started having an argument with one another, what would you do? You were going to treat me, because that visceral anger is inside of you, and now that you've displayed it, what's in you going to come out. And when we are in a battle or having disagreements, that nastiness that you showed that guy is going to come out on me. And then on top of that, it kind of did tiny bit rear its head when she decided to discuss her celibacy. So she's celibate until she's married. And he was basically having all types of foreplay with her throughout the whole thing, trying to get her to break that wall down in a fast way. And she felt like he was trying to manipulate the situation and did not respect her boundaries. And he basically called her out on it and was like, you don't respect your boundaries because you let me do everything except the act, right? And she was like basically saying, so what? Essentially, it's still my boundary, and you're not respecting my boundary. And it goes back to the guy at the mall who was getting aggressive with us. Yes, he was aggressive, but it wasn't about him being aggressive. It's about how you are reacting to his aggression. And how you react to his aggression is making me feel uncomfortable. So, with those two situations and rationale, she made the decision to walk away from the experiment. So, bravo to her. I think that was a good call. I was really rooting for her to get with the other guy. I don't know if he would be much better because he was like 45 too himself. He was like but he had a really good job and was like more calm demeanor. And this guy, I think, reminded her too much of her dad, like at the end, because she kept saying, my dad doesn't want me dating anybody older than 10 years. And when 10 years, this 33 years, your daddy was going to whoop you upside the head if you would have brought this man home. So I'm happy that she decided to pull from the experiment, because to me, there's no way that a 33-year, I don't care how Hollywood tries to make it, I don't care how many wives Neo has, nobody can convince me that a 60-year-old man should be with a 27-year-old young woman. I don't see it for her. I don't see it for him. I don't see it for nobody that this would be an appropriate situation unless you were on Epstein's Island. Okay. Okay. And I did a review on that movie Blink Twice last year when I watched it, and it's just giving that, not just this couple, but just this show in general is just really much giving the movie Blink Twice. It just reminds you of that world is really truly real, and like they're getting more bold and more aggressive as the days come by, and they really want us to normalize this stuff that is not normal. We talk about not normalizing the jealousy, like we talked about in the last video. No, this is stuff we don't need to normalize. Like this age of attraction, Aaliyah age ain't nothing but a number type stuff. Gross. Yuck. Like let's dead this. Let's make sure this show gets canceled. So I doubt that it is, because a lot of people are reviewing it and are talking about it and are grossed out about it. And so it was just inappropriate, really. So I do hope this is a one and done season. This does not become a thing, because inappropriate. But what I'm looking forward to, even though it's messy and inappropriate, I am looking forward to see how her son is I think older than him. Her son is 29 and he's 27, and her son looks just like him. And she was like, I would hook you up with my daughter if I met you at like a family function or something. She's like, but sorry, Lauren. I was like, oh, come on. Come on, girl. Get it together. And she's really beautiful. Like you could see, she looks young. She looks fresh. She's 54. She doesn't look 54 at all. But no. Nobody can convince me that this is right. So we'll move on. If you guys are interested in this show, you can watch it. It is on Netflix. It just premiered on the 11th, which was Saturday. So I watched it over the week. Oh no, which was Wednesday. So I just watched it this weekend. And then yeah, it was okay. I don't know. I don't know if I'll be watching it again next Wednesday. But if it's like a hot topic again, like I saw a bunch of people talk about it last night, then maybe I'll come on and talk about it if it becomes a thing. But hopefully it will fade into oblivion and won't become a big, story. Next up, another show. This is just wrapping things up. We're kind of at the end of this segment, guys, or this. So this is a positive show on Netflix that I actually watched that I found really interesting and really intriguing. If you guys want to watch, just something on the. It actually was supposed to do a video this weekend. This is going to be my one to binge video. So if you guys are just in for the weekend, cozy in the house, and you want one to binge, this is one to watch. I would say what to watch on Netflix is Thank You Next. It is a Turkish show, actually. They do have subtitles, but they also have it where you can put the generating in English, the language. So it's nice. It's a good show. I like binge watched 2 seasons. Apparently they're coming up with a third season. This is just another Netflix show that piqued my interest and made me binge. It was Thank You Next, and it's in 2 seasons, so it's just right. It's just the right amount of time to binge over the weekend. And then there is season 3 renewal, so I can't wait until that drops sometime. I believe they say the new season is going to drop in 2026, so I'm looking forward to that as well. I've really enjoyed the ride that the characters took on this show. And I think if you stumble upon me and I'm in your algorithm, this is probably one of those shows that would pique your interest too. It's just a really smart, witty show. And it reminds me of, like, I kept thinking about Sex in the City, but like a Turkish version of, like, it doesn't have like blatantly, overtly uh intimate scenes, which I like, because I'm not really into all that graphic stuff. I feel like things are getting too graphic and nothing's being left for the imagination anymore. So if you guys are looking for something where, you could use your imagination, you could just enjoy the romance and the roller coaster and the story, the journey of the story, then I think this one would be a good watch for you guys. So thank me later and thank you next. So you guys know every week that I do a little segment called Joy Comes in the Morning. And as you guys know, the scripture says, weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning. So that's why I call this Joy Comes in the Morning. It's a little wrap up of our stream podcast. I think I'm just going to call it a podcast because this really is a podcast. So we're going to do a little bit of 2 clips. I have 2 clips today for Joy Comes in the Morning. The first clip I'm gonna talk about is I thought this was so good because we are talking about the Oscars and everything. So we're gonna have our Joy Comes in the Morning first up with Miss. And she looks beautiful, right? I just thought she looked so gorgeous in her glam bod. She never disappoints. I love the fears. You're gonna hear me roar. I should probably play that one more time without the music so that when I edit this, I can, they're gonna copyright that. So let me just watch it without the music so we can at least have the clip. So this is Tiana Taylor. She is having her glam bot moment. She's saying "roar," and she looks so good, beautiful, face card, crazy, never declines. And I just love that for her. I love how beautiful she is. I love that she's stepping into her own. If you guys did not know, the big win was Best Picture. And as you can see, one battle after another did win Best Picture. That's Tiana right there in the front. I'm rooting for everybody Black, so I'm very proud of her. Regina Hall, all the best, Leonardo DiCaprio, Sean Penn. They were just like literally superstars on top of superstars on top of superstars in this particular film. So yeah, it has been wonderful just seeing her kind of blossom into this magnificent talent. Hi, Christopher Sharp. How are you? I just see your message. I don't know when you sent it, but hello, hello, hello. I appreciate you for joining today. So let's move on to the last moment of the day. Miss Olandria.
Tell little you that you're living the life you always dreamed of. What would you tell her? How would you tell?
What she would tell her young person self is to always love your complexion, right? I love that. I thought that was just such good advice. It's very simple, but it's true. Like, always step into your beauty, love your own complexion, love your own self, and never like get doubt, never feel doubt about who you are, what you are, and whose you are, because the mission is bigger than you. And I love that she showed up for herself and just is a constant reminder for dark skinned, beautiful, chocolate brown skinned girls with the melanated skin that they are her, that they can be seen in every multifaceted way, and they are the light and they shine from within. So, I'm all about that shining bright, shine bright, shine be a star. Where you live, where you are, be a star. I'm all about that. So I love that. Seeing just girls be brave and not being afraid to show up in their true authentic skin in their bodies. And the body is you know what it is. So I just wanted to show another joy comes in the morning in the form of Olandria. She did get to meet Zendaya, and as you can see in the bottom, Zendaya ran over to her, honey, and took this picture. Who you know that got Zendaya running across the screen for them? Miss Olandria did. Speaking of, Olandria did a new YouTube page. So if you guys are interested, go follow her over there. It's called Olandria Carthen. Um I watched her first video. It's just a vlog of her in that green Princess Tiana dress. Very cute. 10 out of 10. I liked, I commented, I subscribed, I did all the things, and I hope you do too. So, and I hope you subscribe to me too, honey. Like and subscribe, Christopher Sharp, if you haven't already. So don't forget to do that. I appreciate all the love. And last but not least, we are going to end with a message of the day. I know that you guys know that I love to send you off with positivity, goodness, and wellness. And this week's message is I am worthy of my own love. And it was truly inspired by all the beautiful women and men that I share today, particularly Brittany. I want her to know that you are worthy of your own love. And I think a representation of that was Jess. She got rid of the dust, she swept it clean, and then she picked up a nice, handsome bag of gold. So beautiful for her because she knew her worth. She knew she was worthy of more and that she deserved more, so she got more. And I need you, ladies and gents, to know the same thing. Same with Mike B. Jordan. I saw a cute little montage of him playing Wallace on The Wire. And then from that, all the way up to becoming who he has today and winning that award as Stack and Slim, playing two characters because he knew he was worth something. He knew that there was bigger purpose for his life, and he continued to pursue that purpose. And so I say to you today and every day, know that you are worthy, know that you are worth it, know that you are a beautiful soul, and that you are deserving of a beautiful life. So we are going to just do some house cleaning before we go. I last time I was in my live, I wore this hoodie. I do sell them every time I'm on it live. I'm gonna promote them. So if you want the hoodie, hoodie's there. I'm gonna speed through this last part. If you guys want to support my stream, support me, buy me a cup of coffee, here is the link to send me, a cup of coffee. Also, I do make these mugs too. So I thought that was cute just to add my own picture of a mug. And the mugs are for sale by request if you want the mug. But most important thing is if you want to send me some coffee so I can sit here and not choke on choking like I was just doing just now. I'm drinking my water, but it would be nice to have a cup of coffee. So one more thing, don't forget to follow me on Snapchat. If you guys aren't doing that already, we have fun on Snap because what I do is I recap my lives. Wow, you hear me screaming and hollering in the background. So I'm on Blue Sky verbally, writing text. If you're a text person, you follow me on Blue Sky. I write all my little remarks there. And if you're like a visual person, I'm on my Snapchat screaming and hollering at the TV. And then you can just see also behind the scenes. What am I cooking for breakfast? What am I eating? Just kind of get to know me personally on a personal basis. If you want to know me beyond social media, beyond YouTube and like the clips, and you can kind of get to know me a little bit on my Snapchat. So there you have it. Closing thoughts. As we say, you guys are my MVPs, and you are the MVP of your life. Make sure you always maintain your morals, your values, and your principles because you are the MVP of your life. And thank you so much if you have joined me here today. If you've been here the whole time, I appreciate you. I can't wait to see you next time, next week, same time, same place, same station. And if you guys stay to the end, don't forget to put the purple hearts in the comment section. I'll see you guys next time. Don't forget to subscribe. We're on our way to 2K. So that's the goal. We're trying to get to 2K by the end of the spring or maybe in the summer, but really let's say in the spring. So we're currently at 1,800, and I believe we can get there. So if you enjoyed today's live, please let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed my video, I'm going to also clip this stuff and put it on shorts, so you'll see the shorts there as well. Also watch part 1 of this live because this is just part 2. And yes, I enjoyed jumping in today and talking to you guys. There was a lot. You guys got fed today, honey. Yes, you did, because 2 videos in one day, that is a beautiful thing. So I'll see you guys next week. It's your girl Nika Nicole, and this is Give This Girl a Mic. Mwah. I'll see you guys next time. Thank you. Have a good night. Sleep tight. Don't let the bed bugs bite. Bye, guys.